Good evening. Last night, as we went on air, I read out a news report about the rocket that had landed in Poland with 2 people dead. I didn't jump to any conclusions at all. I just couldn't work out why, how, what had happened. Now, what is for certain is that if Putin had not been raining missiles down on parts of western Ukraine yesterday, none of this would have happened. That is absolutely clear in my mind. Absolutely clear. However, the early reports we got, US intelligence reports that it's thought to be a Russian rocket, it seems have all proved to be wrong. What it now looks like is it was a Ukrainian missile that was being used to deter, to stop Russian missiles that somehow went horribly wrong and landed a few miles over the border in Poland, regrettably killing 2 people. But what interests me particularly about this is, okay, Putin's the devil, Putin's the bad guy. I get it. I've got my own thoughts about NATO expansion, EU expansion, errors I think we've made over the last few years, but none of that has ever justified in my mind what Putin has done. But Volodymyr Zelensky has been held up to be this great heroic figure, this man of huge wisdom. Well, have a think about what he said last night, because I actually think he jumped the gun in a very, very dangerous way. You see, he made it absolutely clear. He said, to fire missiles at NATO territory, this is an attack on collective security. It is a very significant escalation. We must act. Now, 1 or 2 British newspapers chose to quote this in a way as if he'd invoked Article 5 of the NATO treaty, meaning attack on one is an attack on all. He didn't quite say that, and so I would say this. I think some British newspapers, including broadsheets, actually were irresponsible in the way in which they reported it. But I think it is significant that the Ukrainian president basically says Russia has attacked NATO, do something. And so the question I want to ask and debate tonight and get your thoughts on too is, do we wholly, fully trust Volodymyr Zelensky? Give me your thoughts on that, please. Farage at gbnews.uk.